Vai nascer lá embaixo, quando ele subiu, e de boa.
Soruyu sorsana. Şey daha varmış. Şurası
Baksana neler oldu.
üç dakika.
Sos da müthiş yalnız.
Evet. Biliyor musun?
Thank you.
Não sei.
Hold on. Tu fais les photos?
Portugal is 14th century, the 12th century, emphasize the seasons of the year, and there's a small panel in the corner where we can see that. The fountain is actually a real fountain, not this one, it's another one by the court house.
Bueno, estás bien, ¿no?
Sí podemos pedir ahí a los niños. Outside the water, and also the rest.
pegar isso, né? Depois me fala um dia de comprar um negocinho.
Estás com problema de ouvidos? Estou mais baixo ainda. Boa tarde toda a gente. Olha bem, vamos lá começar bem devagar. Custo lento, bem enfermeiro, não tenho nada, que coisa que é dizer. Vamos lá começar a música, vamos lá. Vamos lá começar esta animação de esplanada com grandes vezes. Meu bailarino. Esse mãozinha que não vai.
Schon normal nicht zwischen den Schirmen, wenn die Schirme nicht sind.
What places you already visit? Only Portugal. Portugal, I think, is not and Camino is very beautiful. Which one you gonna make? The white university, yes, it's very beautiful. So it says it's a little bit complicated to find.
As well as the materials that were used for its construction. A lot of the buildings were made with, and so when it's time to repair, we need to get similar stone or very, of course, the same one. If before it was protected by tiles, in the future has to remain with the same amount of tiles. That cannot be changed as well.
Interessante.
The construction going on right now inside the city is for a brand new metropolitan line, 19th century. In that war, the city of Porto was the main stage, being surrounded by the enemy troops of Ism. The war ended in 1834 in the south of Portugal. This hang fences. That is that stone building, the train station of São Bento. A train station that was built in 1897, and that inside is a court with more than 22,000 tiles in white and blue colors, which shows the different moments in the history of It is possible to go inside the train station through the side. You have to go around the construction. The train station is still operational.
All this coffee shop.
It was built in 1903,
La Brasile.
and it was a coffee shop where it had, of
The
course,
oldest of Porto.
wait. As we're moving up here, the Sada Bandeira, the market is
Bolhao.
right inside.
Bolhao. Na estrada Bolhao.
The market, which is open throughout the week from Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. And one of the best places you can go to try it is right here at the left, the which also has a partnership with one of the famous coffee brands in Portugal called Delta, that allows you, of course, to drink coffee from Southern Africa,
Santa Catarina.
Portugal. The tiles originally came to the Ribera Peninsula in the 8th century during the Moors invasions of 711. The Portuguese only picked up the tiles around the end of the 14th century. They went to the southern part of Spain and cut the tiles in Seville. Also very good for insulation. Here we have a lot of shops that allow you to do that, a lot of good restaurants, with the most famous one being those three over there attached, Santiago, Guedes, and Santa Francesinha. Those are the three best ones in this area to try that dish. And tried to impress his girlfriend by creating a big dish, which was known in France as a croque monsieur. He used every single material that he had in his kitchen to do that dish, which eventually created the dish called Francesinha, which in translation means little French girl. That's where the name comes from. On the city, which is where the Cathedral of Porto is located. Universities wanted to keep that tradition in order to become, of course, the scholars uniform. Nowadays, nearby in just a second. In this case, the ruler of the city, Bishop Hugo, which was granted this land by the mother of the future-to-be first king of Portugal, Afonso Henriques, and the name of the mother was Teresa. Being those the Roman, Gothic, Baroque, and Rococo. It's right here on the right, the cathedral of the city. Right now they are just cleaning up the granite stuff so it can look a little bit younger, because granite with time withstands a lot of dark is because it's receiving a lot of pollution, so they're now cleaning up everything. The entry to the cathedral is €3 per person. You have to pay a lot more for that. You have the whole city right there. All the way here towards the center of the city of Porto to conquer it against the Moors. That conquering came in 868. If you descend here the street on the right, you gain access to the high point of the bridge, where you can actually pass in foot to the other side of the river. That is the Louise Bridge, of course. Used as a monastery until the middle part of the 19th century. Shortly after the civil war of the country, where Porto was victorious, the church was kicked out of Porto. Because in the war, the church decided to take sides and support the enemy of the city. So the consequence of losing the war was getting expelled from Porto. The monastery then was used half in the military, where it has still the military base, and the other half all tile shop. So you can go in there and buy some tiles if you want, which store. And as I said before, we're going to revisit the square, but this time we're really going to go through it. We can see here the building at the left, which is called the... It was built in the last part of the 18th century with the neoclassical style of architecture. And here on the right, we have the fair, where the people sell handcraft items like clothing, cork, ceramics, 1st century with Baroque style of architecture. And outside is the court with more than 11,000 tiles, which were painted by the same artist that before painted the inside of the train station. George Culasso is its next, of course. You don't have to pay anything to go inside. And it's a very beautiful one, I might add.
Very good.
Right there on the right, and those are white umbrellas. Majestic coffee shop. Theater ahead is called the Rivoli Theater. It was built and still today is used, but for more commercial style theater. Part of the avenue, we have there the City Hall of Porto. It took 37 years to complete, and it ended in 1957. The architectural styles that were used for its construction was the manualist of the 15th century, mixed with classical and neoclassical, making it a lot older in homage to the military men who formed the 4th Corporation of Firefighters in the city. That man right there came from Fernandes. And just at the end of this square is where we have the oldest bakery shop in the city, which is called the Riviera bakery. That bakery has been working since 1878. Sundays as well, this one here, Riviera bakery. Then over the courses in the world studied architecture and history. Inside the building we have the Museum of Natural History as well. And then here on the right we have the two churches which were made side by side, which are the churches of Carmo and Carmo. By Catholic law and Catholic standards, they could not share a wall. That was illegal. So when they built the two churches, they were really forced to build them separately. In the middle part of the 18th century, they discovered the loophole in the law, which they could actually add something in the middle to put them both together, except only a wall. They put a building in the middle, which is known as the Hidden House, the smallest house in the city. With the Hidden House, they are no longer sharing a wall, but yes, they're sharing a building. The house, that was the home of a lot of people, a lot of painters and sculptors that worked for the order. They were actually the home of people who worked at the hospital of Carmo, which was behind the two churches before. Century, and still today is used for people to go and, of course, visit their family members or friends who's resting or recovering from illness or surgery. And And it's also where you have a doctor appointment. If you get a family doctor appointment, you can come, of course, and visit your family doctor. It was here in these two white doors on the right where the first University of Medicine was made in the city. In 1998, we expanded the hospital by adding the modern part behind it, which where people can go to do surgeries, visit a specialized doctor, or go to the emergency. The trees are no longer sick, but for the rest of their life, they're going to maintain this small shape, as you see. Bizarre, but unique in some way. Century. These big stone pillars that were made, of course, to show the power and authority of the dictatorship against the opposition, so that nobody would oppose the dictatorship. Which still function as a courthouse, but a courthouse of relations, and has a museum inside that allows you to see the history about conflict and how the conflicts were resolved. This statue here on the right is called the Statue of Justice, also built in 1961, and was made, of course, to show how the dictatorship controlled justice. Salazar said that in order for justice to function in Portugal, it could never be impartial. Since it could never be impartial, the scales were no longer used for anything. That's why they are on her hands instead of being in the air in equilibrium. And the eyes are also not covered like they should be, because the dictator's eyes are never closed. So this whole statue was made to show people how everything was controlled. It was used up until 1974 as a prison, before it transformed itself into a museum of photography in 1997, which is where it is right now. And the other building on the left, where we started, is the Clerigos Tower, which was built in 1763 by the Italian artist and architect named Niccolo Nazzoni, which came from the old Tuscany, and built that in Baroque style. 75 meters of height, making it the biggest tower in the whole city, and inside the tower a big staircase of 225 steps that allows people to go from the bottom all the way towards the top of it. On the top you see a beautiful view of the city of Porto, the River Douro, and the city across the river called Gaia. Of course, that tower is also what we call the ex-libris of the city, which is the symbol of the city. Whenever you search Porto, you always look for that tower, and the bridge, of course. The tower solution was built the most amount of houses possible in small spaces, which led to these small houses. They're not very big in width, but they are very tall and very long. Here we have a wonderful viewpoint where it's possible. Which is actually where I'm going to do a short stop in order we can go down there and take some pictures. The neighborhood down there, it's called Miragaia, and that was actually the first map. St. John's, which is St. John's of Sagahun, hence the name New St. John's. Side of the building. And the statue of this square on the right represents the first Portuguese navigator, Henry the Navigator, right there at the center of that square.
Por caridade não quero.
minha noite e o meu dia. Ninguém mais belo que eu, se eu respirar o canto, água pura que eu bebia. Ninguém mais belo que eu, se eu respirar o canto, água pura que eu bebia. Um dia disse-me vai e eu fui à bacia, toda satisfeita. Vi-o com outra depois, logo um abraço sem mim, lá piscando no peito. Vi-o com outra.
Soler también parecía que da y nada, tampoco, nada. Sí, sí, eso sí, es más de escapadas, un corredor de escapadas.
Student. Student?
Yes.
University.
Yes, exactly.
Can I take
Yeah,
you
we
to
just
the
learned after the second year, like you have to finish the first and then second. Oh wow.
first?
Ja, mega.
Orada burada da nasıl böyle dönüyor?
Só queria
longe a voz do Hilário, cantando um fado ao luar. Museu, linda cidade, museu, onde grão Vasco nasceu, um gênio de pintor nato, amor do tanto valor desse general pastor que se chamou Viriato. Viseu, as serras diretas como um castelo no cair, de alguns poetas.
Da camisola verde, me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar, negra me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar, negra me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar. Ouvido de dois altivos, foi diferente, arroio do meu canto. Camisola verde, negra me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar, negra me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar, negra me deixa o vento, vai na maruja ao lar. paz.
Quase de fora, como
só recordação de má memória, já se vê. Eu estou quase a aprender a viver do modo que estou, mais sozinha do que nunca, mas feliz por uma vez. Eu estou prestes a tirar a tua sombra do meu ser, e assim de uma vez por todas a saber gostar de mim. Não resolvas aparecer, pois desta vez vou-te dizer, vou dizer na tua cara o que nunca consegui. Prefiro estar sozinha que ter-te aqui como tu eras, sozinha, sem ilusões, falsas quimeras, sozinha, que assim ao menos não me iludo, nem naufrago, nem me afundo nesse teu mar de traições. Sozinha, como afinal eu sempre estive.
Mexico